When buying a house, we think about what our monthly payment's going to be. We think about maybe what we need to bring to the closing table, right? How much cash we need to spend to buy a house. And I think those are important things. However, those are not the only important things because there's so much attention focused on those two things. And there's a bunch of other things that get either misunderstood or not even thought about. For example, let's say you're buying a house, you think just because I get a fixed mortgage rate, your payments are going to stay the same for the eternity of the loan. I've seen a lot of people with this misconception, and that's not reality. So, usually in your mortgage payments, your taxes and home insurance are included, and those tend to go up over time. From one year to the next, your property taxes will be going up and your home insurance will be going up. And I don't think a lot of people realize this. And that's huge because maybe you buy a house with a certain monthly payment. You think, hey, I'm good here forever. And then next year that might have gone up a few bucks or a couple $100, whatever it is. So it's very important to realize that. And the other part of that is if you have an HOA. So let's say somebody has an HOA, that HOA could potentially be going up, right? I have a friend that he bought a condo a couple years ago. I forgot what the number was, but whatever it was for his HOA fee, I think went up about a couple $100 from one year to the next. And now his monthly payment looks a lot different than what he thought it was going to be and what his plan was for that unit. It was really more like a vacation house, and it was just something as the payment started going up, he couldn't support from one year to the next. So that's very important, and this is why I typically advise clients that just because you can qualify for something right now, maybe we shouldn't push you to that limit. Let's see if we can get something a little bit less than that where you're still comfortable and you and your family are okay, but you're not pushing your budget to your limit in case those increases happen, and they will happen. It's just a matter of time. Something else I think that people don't think of, we go see a house, we're like, oh, this house is so beautiful. I love the kitchen, bathroom, whatever it is, or the furniture set you're never going to get to the house, but we don't think about what's the upkeep for that house, right? I had somebody, I think 3, maybe 4 months after closing, after buying their house, I think their AC went out and it passed inspections. Inspector said it was good. However, something happened in that time frame, and now that buyer had to spend that money out of their pocket to replace the AC. Whereas as a tenant, typically your landlord is going to do that since they'll just take it out of your monthly rent, whatever profit they're making. So that's something else to consider when buying a house, the upkeep costs. You have, for example, cutting grass, let's say. Maybe now either you're doing it, so you're spending some time doing that every couple of weeks, or you're paying somebody else to do that for you every couple of weeks. And that's an extra expense, whether it's either time, less time away from maybe your family or doing what you love to do, compared to, or the money side, right? Where now you're spending some extra money every month to get your grass done. So there's a lot of different little upkeep stuff that comes with buying a house. Personally, I hate cutting grass. One of the reasons I prefer apartments and living in one. But some people don't mind it, or some people want a house or something bigger because the family size, right? And that's okay. It's just something that I don't think a lot of people understand or think about. Washer dryer goes out. That's something else that you have to figure out, right? Maybe there's a plumbing issue. Now you got to go figure that out. So there's a lot of little upkeep stuff that can add to that monthly payment bill, and some people don't really think about that, and I think that's very important, right? So it's great to love a house and fall in love with a house, especially if it's your dream house and you can afford to do it, and it doesn't put a strain on your budget. However, it's also important to realize that you don't want to be house poor, and you don't want to have this worry every day where you can't go to sleep because now all these extra costs are adding up on that house that goes beyond your monthly payment, whatever that number is. So whenever you're out looking for a house or if you're thinking of buying, I think it's very important to look into some of this stuff. And there could even be some other stuff we haven't even discussed that could potentially impact that monthly budget where you might be like, hey, my budget is here. But then once you take into account all this other stuff, you might be like, hey, my budget's maybe more down here now, to leave some wiggle room, right? This little wiggle room for for all those other stuff. If you like this type of information, give us a like, a comment, share it, and follow us on our social media platforms so you can stay informed.